Good evening. There's still some lingering issues about the NFA. Yes, it's dark. I'm in my room. But some things need to be said. When the president ordered the dissolution of the when the president ordered the dissolution of the NFA board, this was during the meeting with rice traders. The rice traders, in other words, the president was speaking before rice traders whom he said he was going to meet with. And together with him were several cabinet officials. Many of them po ay mga miyembro ng NFA Council. Yung NFA Council po, as we know, iba po ito doon sa NFA. Umpisahan po natin doon. Ang setup po ng ating National Food Authority ay merong administration, which is the National Food Administration, and it's headed by an administrator, and that is Jason Aquino. And then its policy-making body is the National Food Authority Council. So ang members ng council, mga 10 yun, headed by the Cabinet Secretary. Hindi po ako nag-broadcast, interrupted. Headed by the Cabinet Secretary, Leoncia Evasco, and among its members are the Central Bank, representatives from the Central Bank, TTI, TBM, DOF, NEDA, etc. And one member of a farmers group. Of course, the administrator is also a member of that. Hi, magandang gabi po. Okay, hold on. Baka biglang baka biglang mamatay yung aking baka kasi biglang mamatay yung aking okay, there you go. So ang nangyari was that the president ordered the dissolution of the NFA Council. So nung sinabi ng Pangulo, as he was speaking before the rice traders today, sinabi ng Pangulo, I am dissolving as of right now the National Food Authority Council for corruption. And he said this publicly and on the microphone. After he said that, 2 people stood up, si Cabinet Secretary Evasco at saka si Executive Secretary Medialdea. So sabi nila and in front of these people, Cabinet Secretary Evasco said, Sir, Mr. President, you cannot do that because the council is created by law. Nagalit po si Presidente. Ang sabi ng ating Pangulo, doon sa dalawa, kay Medialdea at saka kay Leoncia Evasco, ang sabi niya is, don't tell me what to do. Do not tell me what to do. Something like, I know what I'm doing. So, in other words, he told them to stand down. The President understands that the National Food Authority Council is created by law. Alam niya yan. And therefore, in order to dissolve the council, it requires another law. However, what they have not been looking at is this, that the President has the power to reorganize the executive. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pwede siyang maglipat ng mga tao at saka mag-reorganize. So, pwede siyang magbuwag ng offices. Pwede siyang, except if the office is created by law. So, what is the President saying here? Ang sinabi niya later on, and I got this by interviewing our sources sa National Food Authority. Ang sabi ng Pangulo ganito, ayoko na maraming kausap. There are too many people on the board and too many people na nag-exercise ng discretion. And he said that all of you are acting as my alter egos kasi siya nga naman ang nag-appoint sa mga iyon, except for the farmers representative. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, gusto ko diretso na lang kay NFA administrator, and the decision making that is made by the policy body, which is the council, will be done by the president. So while the president does not have the power to dissolve the National Food Authority Council, he can supplant their discretion with his. Yun ang sinasabi niya. Okay. Paki-share na habang maaga-aga pa. So, kasi nakikita natin dun sa mga sa news na maraming sumasalungat dun sa sinabi ng Pangulo. Kung papansin niyo, number 1, wala pa tayong official statement na nanggagaling sa spokesperson, pero meron tayong statement coming directly from the President to dissolve the NFA Council. Ang sinasabi ni Harry Roque is that hindi daw i-dissolve, instead the President is going to move the entire body, the NFA Council, and the NFA, the administration, under the Office of the President and under the DA. So, sa ngayon, ang makikita natin, marami pang iba-ibang opinions. Pero tama si Francis Mendoza, basically what the President is saying, he will act as the council. He will be the one he will supplant his discretion for the discretion that is normally exercised by the council. At pwede po yun. So, that clears that up. Ano ngayon yung next? Marami kasing nagtatanong, bakit, ang daming ang slanted, sabi ni Alfie Manlutak, slanted kasi yung balita. Totoo yan. So, we are getting our information straight from our sources sa National Food Authority. So, one thing is absolutely clear. Unang-una, the President has taken an interest in the issue of food security. Nagalit siya dun sa council kasi 2 beses siyang nag-order ng importation. Actually, 3. 3 beses siya palang sinuway ng council. One was last year in 2017 nung sinabi niyang wag i-extend yung importation by private traders at to allow the NFA to import government to government. Hindi sinunod ng council yan, so sumuway sila last year. In February, the President ordered the importation of 250,000 tons of rice, government to government. Again, hindi siya sinunod ng ating council. For the 3rd time, nung umupo ang presidente dun sa NFA Council ng March 14 or 16, more or less, nag-follow up siya dun sa board. Tinanong niya si NFA Administrator Jason Aquino, ano na nangyari dun sa inutos ko na importation? Ngayon, nabigla yung board. Nabigla yung council at nagsasabi sila na kasi binago daw yung terms, na-extend daw ganito. Naming excuses. Pero, ang lumabas later on dun sa production ng documents ni NFA Administrator Aquino, nakaproduce siya ng documents to indicate that the terms of reference, kasi binibid out yung government importations, diba? Whether it is government to government or government to private, meron yang bidding. So, para magkaroon ng bidding, kailangan may terms of reference. In terms of reference, chairman po ng council ang pumipirma niyan. At yun po ang naging reason kung bakit na-delay yung importation, kasi hindi po pinirmahan ni CABSEC Leoncio Evasco yung terms of reference para ma-allow yung importation. Kung hindi po inalaw ang importation, that is the time na ubos po yung bigas natin sa warehouses ng NFA. Ngayon, ang latest na balita, ang utos ng Pangulo. Ang utos ng Pangulo kay NFA Administrator Jason Aquino is this: ignore the council. I'll give your orders directly. Sabi ni Francis, I thought ibabalik ang DA, sa DA ang NFA. Does that have an impact on the council? Wait, you have to understand, the NFA was never under the DA. I will repeat, it was never under the DA. But the department secretary, the secretary of the Department of Agriculture, used to sit on the board of the NFA, on the council of the NFA, and used to be the chairman Okay, so the NFA is not under the DA. It is a separate body. So never siya naging under the DA. So pag sinasabing lalagay uli ang NFA under the DA, that is not true. And in fact, cannot be done unless by law. So ang gagawin is that ibabalik ang Department of Agriculture Secretary as the chairman of the National Food Authority Council. Okay? So mali yun, yung sinasabi na NFA daw ilalagay sa DA. Hindi. Ibabalik as a member of the board si Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. And now, the President will directly create the policy. He will assert his authority over the council. Ibig sabihin, yung discretion na ine-exercise ng council, Pangulo na ang mag-e-exercise. Okay? Frances, no, you didn't misunderstand. Actually, ang daming nagkakamali sa ating media. Hindi po na-misunderstand din nila kasi yung sinasabi nga nila lalagay ang NFA under the DA. It's not. Under Presidential Decree 1770, the DA was part of the council. So, hindi na ano. Pero, you know, it's not far-fetched. No? Hindi naman problema yan. Kasi a lot of people also misunderstand that. Even government agencies. People in government misunderstand that. So, ngayon, ang sinabi ni Spokes Harry Roque is that the entire NFA, including the council, will be placed under the office of the president. Pwede po yan. Kasi the president actually, a representative of the office of the president, sits also on the board of the NFA council. Ang dating representative na yon was Cabinet Secretary Leoncio Evasco. Ngayon, ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, siya na daw. Effectively, what this means is that Cabinet Secretary Evasco is removed from the council. Kasi ang Pangulo na po ang diretsyong magsasabi kung magpa-participate in the policy making of the council. Pero since ayaw ng Pangulo na maraming kausap, sabi niya, actually, sino lang ba dapat daw ang nakaupo dun sa council? So, he agrees that the DTI should be there and possibly the TOF. Pero ayaw niya ng maraming ang kausap. So, he will just refer the policies to a few people and then make direct orders to NFA Administrator Aquino. Okay? So, maliwanag po yun. No, the NFA is not going to be placed under any department because it cannot be done except by law. However, yun nga, and since anyway, nasa PD 1770 yung participation ng department secretary, ng Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, ang member naman siya ng Food Council. Dati, sinusoli lang dun sa original intent ng batas ang DA Secretary. And that is Manny Piñol. Effectively nga, tama si Roy Ivy Capili na aalisin si Evasco because nga the President has said that since Evasco sits there as a representative of the office of the President and the President wants to exercise the jurisdiction, the discretion over the NFA, then siya na po ang gagawa. So let's clear up a lot of these misconceptions. Kaya lang po kasi nagkakaproblema dun sa information na nakukuha ng mga tao is because hindi pa po lumalabas yung mga official or clarificatory statements that usually emanate from the office of the spokesperson. And this time around, he also, I think, misappreciated the directive of the President. At any rate, I'm pretty sure within the next few days makaklarify po yan. In the meantime po, yung administrative order or executive order na sa pag-aayos nitong bagong pagtakbo ng NFA ay ginagawa po ngayon kasalukuyan ng Office of the President. Okay. Sabi ni Tess de Leon Hammer, natutuwa naman ako pati ito kay Ma'am Tess. My God, our president is forced to babysit supposedly adult and responsible cabinet members by putting the entire admin under his eyes. Yun nga po the problem kasi was that kung sana sumunod ang council originally doon sa inutos ng Pangulo, it would not come to this. Okay? So, yan, nililiwanag lang natin. Ngayon, merong ibang mga nagtatanong, who is Jason Aquino? And why is he trusted by the President? Sige, let's talk about Jason. Well, ako kasi, I personally know Admin Aquino because he was my client when he was charged with mutiny in conduct and becoming an officer and a gentleman. When as a scout ranger and a major in the Philippine Army, he was charged for conducting supposedly a mutiny to try to overthrow Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. In fact, he was accused of being one of the leaders of that movement. We were able to have him acquitted. Please take note, hindi po na amnesty si Jason Aquino. I had him acquitted. His co-accused at the time was, among others, General Renato Miranda, one of the highest to ever have to go through a court-martial. Si General Renato Miranda of the Philippine Marines was, at the time, if I'm not mistaken, 2 stars. Brigadier General Danny Lim, several colonels, Ariel Carubin, Achilles Segungalian of the Philippine Marines, Toto Parcon, Medal of Valor winner, Medal of Valor recipient, etc. So it was kind of an all-star cast. So after acquittal, Major Aquino was reinstated in the Philippine Army, and where he later on met Mayor Roddy Duterte. Shortly after that, if I'm not mistaken, the President has narrated a story saying that sometime in 2015, Major Aquino went to him after introductions made by a third party to talk to him about running for president. So that is one of the reasons kung bakit po magkakilala ang Pangulo at saka si Jason Aquino. Ay, walang sound. Ayan. Oops. Ayan, may sound na ba? Okay, let me just check the audio, ha? Sorry. Mayos na daw po ang sound. Okay, let me just check. Okay, there you go. So, maayos na po. Thank you. Dexter Yambao says, what is sad is that there are many in the cabinet, instead of helping the president to fulfill their duties, they make the job of the president more difficult and making the president deal with these problems directly. Sabi ni Sebastian Jake John, overwhelmed na sa responsibility ang Pangulo, katakot baka pumalya siya sa dami ng iisipin at tapos yung gagawin. That is why the President has already said that he only wants to talk either directly to NFA Administrator Aquino and to make the decisions together with some of the members of the Council. So that's how it stands right now, no? So later on, hindi pa natin nakikita kung ano yung magiging final outcome ng executive order or administrative order na lalabas po dyan. Okay. So, ginagawa na po kasalukuyan. In the meantime, nag-follow up po ako sa NFA at inumpisahan na po at napirmahan na po. The President authorized Administrator Aquino to sign for the terms of reference para po makapag-import na ng bigas at malagyan na po ng laman yung mga warehouses natin dito sa Metro Manila. So, that is good news. Opo. Sabi ni Jenny Jane, pwede ba mag-import ng bigas tulad ng 84, parang Thailand rice at ayun, na masarap. NFA din yun, parang mataba siya. Sa totoo lang, yung NFA ngayon, walang sarap. Minsan kasi, pag gutom ako, kinakain ko NFA na para sa mga aso. Okay. Yun nga sometimes the NFA rice gets a bad reputation, supposedly kasi matigas, etc. But the fact is, in order to purchase NFA rice, merong certain moisture level requirement. Merong parang size yata ng grains, hindi pwedeng broken grains, etc. So, nagko-comply pa rin with certain standards. Yun lang nga, the only requirement is that it has to be cheap so that the poorest sector of society can afford it. Okay. Clear naman daw pala yung audio. Yan, sabi ni Francis, who will sign the paperwork that Evasco was supposed to have sat on? Si Admin Aquino na po. Sabi ni Alvin Aldea, how is Sec Evasco now? I have no information po how he is now. Although, from what I understand, he is still in good health. Okay. Thank you for everybody's sound check. Mahina lang daw kasi ang boses ko. Kasi, sabi ni Celia, kasi tulog na ang kasambahay. Wala po akong kasambahay. Okay. No, mahina talaga ang boses ko. But, yun nga, I'm in my room. So, I can hear myself really loudly. And I don't like really speaking loud. So, sabi ni Christine, ang dami-daming good news. Feel na we are on the right track. I'm very happy that the issue has turned out the way it did. Kasi nga, ang Pangulo na natin mismo ang siyang nag-handle ng issue. Kasi what was happening po is that yung council at saka yung administrator hindi po magkasundo. Yung administrator po, sinusunod niya yung hiling ng Pangulo, yung orders ng Pangulo. Yung council naman po, nag-e-exercise ng discretion nang hindi po sang-ayon dun sa pinag-uutos ng ating Pangulo. Sabi ni Roselita Hansen, di po ba kaya ng mga magsasaka natin na i-lift ang rice production with the help of the government? What do you mean by lift? Kung improve, actually, improve naman po. Ang NFA rice lang po ang nirereklamo natin na hindi kasing sarap as the commercial rice. So, sabi ni George Ferrer, kailan daw uwi ang aking future son-in-law? Well, he'll be in Carambola on Monday, so that should be a clue. Sabi ni she's Jeff Fencer Blancada. Thanks, life at good news from Hong Kong with love. Okay. So, meron pa ba kayong tanong? Sabi ni Leon, the council is dissolved pero si Evasco will remain as CABSEC po. Yes, CABSEC Evasco has not been removed from his position as cabinet secretary. At hindi po talaga exactly dissolved yung council kasi it has to be done by law. Ang sinasabi ng presidente is that he will exercise the discretion that is normally exercised by the council because the members of the council are his alter egos. So, parang instead of governing indirectly, the president will be governing directly. Sabi ni Joseph, ano po kaya ang dapat gawin ni PRRD para malokohan sa elections? Hindi ko po naintindihan. Sabi ni Botlog Jr. Chua, can you please explain nga paano ang modus ng mga rice cartels in manipulating rice prices at paano po nakisabot ang nasa gobyerno? Okay. Hindi ko po masasabi yan for a fact kasi I don't want to accuse members of the NFA Council of corruption or of being in cahoots with the rice traders. Not without any evidence. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Kung may makita tayong ebidensya, then we're going to do exactly that. Pero, hindi ko po kasi sinasabi na they are in cahoots or they are conspiring with the rice cartels. Ang ginagawa po ng council is, number one, they are trying to get the public used to the high prices of rice. The problem is, pag mataas ang presyo ng bigas, may effect ito dun sa mga mahihirap. Ano yung effect nito? Number one, merong iba na they really cannot afford, so they just won't buy it anymore, which means people will go hungry. Ngayon yung others, dahil napaka-importante ang food, they're going to buy rice anyway, but they're going to buy it at a high price. But they will not be able to afford other things like transportation o yung pagpapasok ng mga bata, yung mga allowances nila, etc. Because food is so basic, kung mataas ang presyo ng bigas, bibili at bibili ang mga tao ng bigas, kahit yung mga mahihirap, para makakain. And therefore, ina-assist natin yung mga rice traders when they set the prices of rice very high. Ang NFA rice, nagpo-provide yan ng competition in the market. para hindi masyadong tumaas ang presyo ng bigas. But more importantly, what it does is it provides an alternative to poor people who cannot otherwise afford the high-priced rice varieties. Okay, so kahit paano, about 10 million people will be able to have access to cheaper rice. Right. Paano nagkakaano? Kasi nga, without the NFA rice that will be made available to people so that there is an alternative, cheaper form of rice, the rice traders will set the rice prices at very high. Magkukontsyabahan sila dun sa presyo ng bigas. Ngayon, dati, nung ang NFA nakaka-participate with a larger market share, para tumaas din po ang presyo ng bigas, ang ginagawa ng ibang traders, hinuhoard nila. And that creates an artificial shortage. An artificial shortage results in higher prices of rice. So, ganun po yung ibang means kung paano, what they're doing really is gaming the system. Sabi ni Tess de Leon Hammer, the importation is one way of Duterte suppressing the sale of expensive rice handled by traders. Actually, people from Cagayan are saying that they have overproduction. Ma'am Tess, oo, may overproduction in certain areas siguro. But Secretary Manny Piñol has already said that we are not 100% rice self-sufficient. At ito pa, we really have to take note. Sinabi po ng ating Pangulo, we should forget striving for self-sufficiency. Bakit? Kasi even if self-sufficient tayo, pero mataas ang ating cost of production, it doesn't help the people. Since other countries can produce rice far more efficiently than we do, we are able to import cheap rice. At yung importation na yan ng murang bigas, yan po ang nagpapakain ng mga mahihirap natin. At saka yan po ang ginagamit natin pagka times of calamity. Okay. Sabi ni Jenny Jane, napaka-cheap ng bigas ng NFA nung panahon ni Marcos. Hanggang ngayon naman din po. Ganta pa ang gamit noon, galing po ako sa pamilya ng magsasaka, masarap ang NFA noon. Di nga lang kami bumibili ng NFA kasi may rice sa bahay na laon ang tawag, ibig sabihin matagal na. I see. Sabi ni Dexter Yamba, when do we expect the shipment of imported rice? 30 days po yan. So, since napirmahan na yata po ang terms of reference, we will be, we can expect it, ano bang date na ngayon? Siguro by the end of April or early May. Sabi ni Annie, paano magkakasundo yan ng isa Marines yung sa rebelde? Hindi po Marines si Admin Aquino. Galing po siya sa Philippine Army. Scout Ranger po siya. Si Cabsec Evasco, yes, was a communist, but he was also a priest. Sabi ni Lien, Ikamu, really appreciating information about the NFA issue, not that people are more aware. Sabi ni Sheg, Admin Aquino is super handsome. Sorry, off topic. Well, yeah, I agree. Actually, he's very good looking. Totoo naman po yan. I should see him in person. Sabi ni Che Halover, bakit nagkaroon ng shortage supply of NFA rice? Can it be fulfilled by our local farmers? Che, no, they can't. In fact, it is Secretary Manny Piñol who already said, hindi nga tayo 100% rice self-sufficient. Ibig sabihin, our farmers are not producing enough rice for the country to consume. Tandaan natin yan, our farmers are not yet capable of producing 100% of the rice that we consume. Kaya, kahit po bumili ang NFA sa ating mga farmers, kukulangin pa rin ang bigas to feed our people. Okay? That's one. The second is, we could buy locally. Sabi ni Admin Aquino, pero we're tied to the price of 17 pesos per kilo of palay. And we can only buy, kasi nagmamanage ka ng warehouses nyo, di ba? Bibili lang kayo pagka meron ng paglalagyan din sa warehouse or basta may na-manage po yan. So, if we buy at the time na harvest, nauuna din po kasi yung mga traders who are offering higher prices. Ngayon, meron mga nagsasabi, available ang cheap price, let's say 14 pesos per kilo of palay doon sa ganitong lugar. I assure you, pinupuntahan po ng NFA lahat po yan. At meron naman pong regular buyers ang NFA natin. At meron din silang regular na nagsusupply ng bigas. But the prices vary. Kapag nga po may narinig na 14 pesos na per kilo ng palay, nauuna parate ang mga traders or speculators. In addition po to that, because COA sets, because it's bidded, meron pong certain requirements ang COA. So, kunwari, bibili ng bigas late after harvest, yung moisture content po ng bigas ay mini-measure at hindi pwede po at a certain level. Kung kunwari mataas ang moisture content, hindi po papayagan ng COA or hindi i-clear ng COA yung purchase na ganun. So, marami pong reasons kung bakit we don't buy from our farmers. One is that, nauunahan talaga ng traders. Two, may requirements ang COA. And three, even if we buy from our farmers, kulang pa rin ng bigas to feed ourselves. So, rather than compete with the traders here, we import cheap rice from other countries. Yung imports na to, hindi po yan pupunta directly to the market except when NFA sells it as an alternative so that there is cheap rice that is available. Sana po maliwanag yan, pero kung hindi pa po maliwanag, magtanong lang po kayo. Sabi ni Jerome, why he can fire directly si Evasco and totally remove from the cabinet? What do you mean why? I'm sure he can if he wants to. Sabi ni Marilyn yun. Sabi ni Kiko Pangilinan, si Administrator Aquino daw may problema, kita daw Senate hearing kasi binenta daw ang NFA sa traders kaya naubos. Ungas talaga tong matching. Ay, sorry, nabasa ko yun. Normally, hindi ko kasi binabasa pagka ganun na insulto. Pasensya na po. Ganito po yun. Si Admin Aquino was brought nga before the Senate, but the senators were not listening to him. Kung titignan po ninyo yung mga sa YouTube po, yung mga videos dun sa hearing. Hindi rin sila nakikinig. Kaya nga, nung sinabi ito Chika, you should really know this. Tandaan nyo, sinasabi ni Cabsec Evasco na dapat nag-order daw sila ng audit of the NFA, particularly bakit daw nag-release ng bigas, etc. during the harvest season, October, November, December. Ang harvest actually is December. Ang sabi ni Admin Aquino, wait a minute, we are always selling rice. We are always selling rice. Number one, kung mataas ang presyo ng bigas, like in this case, 55 pesos per kilo, maglalabas talaga ng mas maraming bigas ang NFA kasi nga maraming hindi makaka-afford ng mataas na presyo ng bigas na mataas ang presyo. Sabi ni Senator Kiko, nagbenta daw ang NFA to traders. I challenge Senator Kiko to provide evidence for that. Kasi kung i-accuse mo ang NFA ng ganyan, wala namang wag naman yung gratuitous, yung kayo kasi nagbebenta kayo. Yung tawag po sa ganyan, chismis, kung wala kang ebidensya. At saka, if Senator Kiko was so sure about this, why hasn't he filed the case? Diba nagre-recommend naman ng case filing ang Senado? That's what they did with the BOC. Sabi ni Jessiel, if Admin Aquino will sign, is the procurement G2G? Yes, it is. Because yun ang utos po ng Pangulo. Sabi ni Monaya Ag, tama ba yung pronunciation? Mahirap na rin po ngayon magkaroon maraming palay kasi yung mga mang-aani po ay mga sosyal na doon sa probinsya kasi nag-aantay na lang po sila sa pagdating ng 4Ps. Hindi na po sila nagtatanim ng palay at nag-aani kaya nahihirapan na po ang nagpapaani kasi minsan nasisiraan na lang sila ng palay lalo na kung sabay-sabay ang ani. Kulang na po ang mag-aani. I see. So, yung agricultural workers, kulang din po tayo. Okay, good point. Sabi ni E.B. Rafanan, ano pong mangyayari dun sa nabalitang natuklasan mga NFA rice na dililipak? Kakasuhan po yon. NBI po ang nag-i-investigate sa ganun at sila po ang nag-file ng kaso. Sabi ni Tess, when staple food becomes unaffordable, it promotes the crime of theft. Agree. bakit po interesado ang ating Pangulo dito sa bigas? Kasi for the President, important ang food security. Alam niyo kung bakit? Pag kinukulang po ng pagkain, that's when revolutions are held. That's when people rebel. So, and he wants, remember yung vision ng ating Pangulo, a comfortable life for all Filipinos. And how can you have a comfortable life kung wala kayong makain? So, he wants food security. Sabi ni Susan Ursula, hope to meet you here in Davao. Okay, nandyan po kami next week. Sabi ni Ionizer Ganuhay, dito sa Cyprus, ang mahal ng rice per kilo, almost 200 pesos. Opo, kasi I'm not sure, are they a rice-producing country or, konti lang talaga napaproduce? Sabi ni Dionis Padilla, affected din po tayong lahat kahit di tayo bumibili ng NFA rice. Opo. Sabi ni Redentor Cueco, di kaya palabas lang ni Evasco na against siya sa G2G para ma-identify niya yung mga big-time rice smugglers. Mukhang may blessing ni Pangulo, otherwise sinibak na siya. Actually, sinibak siya from the NFA. Kasi sabi ng Pangulo, Secretary Evasco sits there as a representative of the President. So, Cabsec Evasco will no longer be doing that. So, you also have to understand that Cabsec Evasco and the President are long time associated with each other. And I understand that the people of Davao still think fondly of Cabsec Evasco. So, hindi po totoo na mukhang may blessing ni Pangulo. Hindi po totoo yan. Because the President was very open during the meeting with the rice traders. And in fact, pinagsabihan niya si Cabsec Evasco. Mali rin po kasi si Cabsec kinorek niya yung Pangulo in front of an audience. You don't do that to the President. If the President is wrong, you wait for a good and opportune time to remind him of certain things. But in this case, the President did his homework. He knows the issues of about the NFA. According to Sec Piñol, sabi ni Frances, NFA daw will get an infusion from the rice traders through at 38 pesos daw. I don't know about that. Kasi if the NFA is going to acquire it at 38 pesos, then that defeats the purpose. But the rice traders agreed to sell at 38 pesos. Okay. So, parang tumutulong sila dun sa mandato ng NFA. Sabi ni Ramil, since may standards naman ng purchase, ayusin na lang ng NFA ang process of milling at tulungan na rin ang farmers sa seedling types. Wala po sa mandato yung seedling types. Milling, I think the NFA has its own mills. Roy said, please explain the council's hard-headedness. What are their personal stakes? I'm not sure about the personal stakes. Although the president has said that he is dissolving the council due to corruption. Words niya yun, ha? But I think that they are giving undue preference to the rice traders because they believe that the market should set the prices of rice. They don't believe in having some kind of a welfare state where the state takes on the burden of feeding the poor. Sabi ni Archie, ano po iniisip nila? Bakit mas gusto nila mataas presyo ng rice? Sarili lang nila. So, dapat wala sila sa government. I understand that. Sabi ni Linper, bakit ayaw ni Evasco mag-import? Kasi mura yon. Actually, ang gusto ni Sec Evasco, he didn't want an importation. Kasi gusto nga niya, masanay yung mga tao dun sa mataas na presyo ng bigas because in 2022, we will have to make a decision kung i-lift ang tinatawag na quantitative restrictions. Quantitative restrictions, yun po, yung pag-set natin ng cap on how much we can import sa rice so that we can protect our agricultural industries, agricultural products, which is rice. Sabi ni Sheila, is NFA a regulatory board for rice? No, it is not a regulatory board. The NFA Council is not a regulatory board, no. Sabi ni Jeremy Huber, it's ironic that Cabsec Evasco, once a communist, cannot understand how urgent it is to provide affordable rice for the poor. I agree. Sabi ni Christine, whenever I'm in a debate, I use Trixie's logic or explanation, mukha tuloy ako matalino, kaya yung kabila argumentum ad hominem na lang parati ang reply. Ang galing nyo, alam nyo na yung ad hominem sa. Alam nyo, when I decided to take up the cudgels for Admin Aquino and inadvertently go against the council, which who are also government and also part of the president's official family, nagdalawang isip ako, except there was one thing that we knew. That's why I sided with Admin Aquino, aside from the fact that I know him very well. But I know that the president knows the issue of rice. Having dealt with rice smugglers nung mayor pa lang siya. We had information that the president understood the issue long before. Kaya nga last year, di ba, he fired Undersecretary Maya Halmen Valdez, who is the Undersecretary of CABSEC Evasco. And she was the one who was opposing yung she wanted the extension so that the rice traders could import more, could extend the period for importation. And she was also the one who refused to allow the NFA to import rice para ma-beef up yung rice stocks. So actually, yung pagkakulang ng rice stocks, issue pa yan since 2017. At nag-fire out na ang Pangulo ng isang undersecretary because nga hindi nag-import. So, it was a difficult decision for me, because I like CABSEC Evasco, but I disagreed with him completely on his refusal to import cheap rice. If this was not an issue that was visceral, or kung hindi po ito issue na maaaring magugutom yung mga kababayan natin, we could even refuse to join in this campaign. But it means kasi, without the importation, it means kasi na if a calamity hits us, there will be no rice to feed the victims of that calamity. When the rice prices get too high, there will be no cheap rice for the poorest of our countrymen. So, we're looking at the very real possibility na may magugutom. So, let me clarify, I do not like having gone against some of the members of our president's official family, in particular, CABSEC Evasco and members of the council. But it needed to be done kasi ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito ay yung mga taong magugutom. Sabi ni Michael James Langaman, Angel, wait, let's take your question first. Angel Toleson says, hindi ba gawa lang yung rice issue para mapagtakpan ng recount? You know, I don't agree with those kinds of arguments. Ang dami pong ginagawa ng ating gobyerno at marami talagang issues ang nare-raise tungkol doon. So, sabi ni Alius, totoo po ba yung naisulat ni RJ tungkol kay Yusek Halmen? It depends. What did he say? You have to be specific. Sabi ni Dexter, can we say the council is doing economic sabotage? Not sure yet if it would count. Sabi ni Redentor Gueco, di kaya palabas lang ni Evasco na against siya sa G2G. Hindi po, sorry, I read that question already. I will repeat over and over, no. The President was very, very, very clear in his message to the rice traders. Wala pong blessing niya yung sinasabing, yung mga ginawa ni CABSEC Evasco. At in fact, pinagalitan niya si CABSEC in front of the rice traders. I will repeat, wala pong blessing niya yan. Please do not try to second guess the President. Okay. Sabi ni Sheila Bonavista, why won't we get people to train abroad for advanced technology? It depends. Advanced technology on what? Feasible po ba mabigyan ng sole authority ang NFA admin to act on its behalf to import free from the influence of the NFA Council? Yes, Michael James lang naman. In fact, that's what the President has actually authorized Admin Aquino to do. Sabi ni Linper, at 17 pesos per kilo ng palay, sino magbebenta ng ganyang kababa kung quality ang rice ng farmers? Tama po. Sabi ni Wesley, pwede po bang wala ng rice traders, government na lang bumili sa farmers at government din na mag-import? We can't do that kasi I don't think the government will have the capacity to do that. Medyo mabigat po yan. That would be a strain on our resources. Sabi ni Christine Aranda, let's understand that farmers cannot sell their harvest at 17 pesos per kilo. Mas costly po ang rice production dito sa Pinas as compared to other countries like Vietnam and Thailand. Correct. Galing ni Christine. Sabi ni Philip Eugenio, ano po kaya mapapala ni Evasco by not following the President's order twice? Actually, 3 times. Like I keep telling you, the council thought that they had the discretion. But that discretion is delegated authority, meaning the President allows them to exercise discretion on his behalf. Why did Cabsec Evasco not follow the President's order twice? Because he thought he knew better. Sabi ni Alfie, he has to go because he had dental appointment. Sabi ni Rosalie, sobrang hirap ng buhay ng mga farmers, hindi pa naitatanim ang palay, nagkakautang na sila, kaya yung harvest nila hanggang bayad lang ng utang. Agree. So bakit natin dadagdagan ng pahirap nila by insisting that the NFA buy from local farmers at that amount? Sabi ni Ramil, Leoncia's nonsense, it doesn't matter when NFA buys rice, but when it releases it. Sabi ni Annie, parents ko farmers, planting season pa lang, wala, yan, naka-cash advance na sa traders. Yes, I know. Sabi ni Nemia Fudalan, kukunti lang nagbebenta sa NFA kasi nga naiutang na. Di ko lang magyat, sabi ni Linper, kung bakit hindi sumunod si Cabsec Evasco to import G2G rice. Kasi nga, gusto nila. Sabi ni, ang reason ni Cabsec Evasco, according to him ang sabi niya kasi daw hindi transparent, mas hindi po transparent pag G2P. Kasi yung private yung nasa abroad, at least pag G2G, those are two governments that are transacting, mas madali naman po yun. Sabi ni Mitch, farmer daw yung tatay niya, he said, kaya daw di enough ang rice produce kasi yung mga younger generations ayaw na magsaka at prefer mag-work sa Manila o mag-abroad. Di naman siya against sa pagbabago ng panahon, pero sayang daw mga naituro niya sa mga kabataan na kasama niya magsaka, including her brothers. Sabi ni Dexter, it's sad that the students of the Philippines like Thailand and Vietnam in terms of rice production are the ones rice sufficient. There's a joke in the Ministry of Thailand that they are in the Ministry of UPLB when they studied. Estelia says, is it true that Congress is needed to abolish the NFA Council? Yes, by law, but the President can exercise the discretion of the Council. Sabi ni Aniceto, people must be aware and careful if we import rice in Thailand. They feed too much insecticides, not good for our health. Please be careful. Sabi ni Jeremy, I think Evasco is walking on thin ice. He could be the next to be fired. Sabi ni Raj Busmente, funny daw ako. Che, Raj. Sabi ni Mel Kunigit, so we just settle with it. I mean, we'll just rely on other countries to support our rice shortage. You haven't been listening to the President, have you? Why don't we plant a good variety of rice that's cheap to produce? Meron nga tayong iri. We have the rice that's cheap to produce. We have researchers and great minds. Why can't we find a solution to this? There's no shortage, ma'am. I will repeat, Miss Mel. There's no shortage. There's no shortage. There's no shortage. Walang rice sa NFA warehouses, but the market is full of rice. However, if you're talking about rice self-sufficiency, Manny Piñol said, we are not at 100%, but we have a high rate, something like 80 to 90%. But the President himself, in a statement 2 days ago, said, we should not aspire for rice self-sufficiency, especially kung yung self-sufficiency na yun will result in expensive rice. Okay, that doesn't contribute to food security. What we need is readily available food, or rice in our case. Rice that is cheap and available to a lot of people. Sabi ni Headley, dito po sa amin ng NFA, nagbebenta po ng NFA rice sa mga rice miller at mini-mix nila. Bakit ganon? Tapos ibebenta sila sa mga rice traders ng mahal. Sir, kung aakusahan nyo po ang NFA, mag-provide po kayo ng testimony. Or if not, paki-report po sa NBI o paki-report po dun sa NFA, doon sa main office kung sa tingin ninyo ang NFA na local ang gumagawa niyan. At kailangan po natin ng ebidensya. Huwag kayong mag-alala kung totoo po yan, ma'am. Gagawa natin ng paraan para mahuli yung mga yan. Sabi ni Deng, agree when I was on vacation, I remember the price of jasmine rice the same as the rice, local rice in Andoming. So my opinion is mas better pataga mag-import kasi mauupusan tayo ng supply. Sabi ni Rodel, may balita na ba from NBI DTI na nakasuhan ng mga rice traders na nag-hoard ng rice o hinahalo sa regular rice? Wala akong naririnig this year po. Sabi ni Joel Felipe, si Kiko para lang si Trillanes, puro akusasyon, walang proof. Sabi ni Wesley, okay lang bang wala na lang rice traders? Hindi po pwede. Kasi, yun nga, we still are free market. We just need to provide an alternative for low-end rice, for low-cost rice. Sabi ni Greg de la Cruz Jr., huwag na kayo maniwala kay Kiko, si Sharon nga, hindi na rin naniniwala sa asawa niya. Sabi ni George Farrell, Kidapawan incident, wag na sana maulit. I agree. Sabi ni Raj, we should promote and pursue agri. Well, we do that already. Kaya lang yun na nga eh. Ang daming conversions ng ating agricultural land. Ang daming hindi nagkaka-interest in farming. Nakaka-contribute rin po kasi yung problems na, kunwari, maliit lang yung lupa mo, hindi efficient magtanim. Sabi ni Zell, thank you for helping the NFA information officers reach out and educate the public with your informative discussions about the NFA mandates. Okay. Sabi ni Raj Busmente, FAO supposedly declared rice terraces as globally agricultural cultural heritage site. Rice is not only our issue on food security, tapos din cut ng traders sa fruits and vegetables. I agree, nagko-convert yung rice land to fruits and vegetables kasi nga cash crop siya. Sabi ni DJ Murillo, yung mga rice smugglers na yan, nasa mga ports yan at nasa reclamation areas, kahit i-check nyo po yan. Actually, hindi na nga po masyadong issue yung smuggling because of the BOC. Ang smuggling dati wasn't yung secretly nakakapasok but through the BOC. So ngayon, because the permit is issued by the NFA, simple lang ang BOC. Meron ka bang permit? Wala. Kung wala kang permit, it's smuggled. Sabi ni Michael James lang naman, if we're in favor to help the farmers earn, yung mahihirap na can't afford magsasuffer. If we're here to help yung mahihirap, we can't afford na makompromise kita ng farmers. NFA Council aims to help farmers by promoting traders to sell rice on their own selling price, and NFA admin helps to those. Hindi po. The NFA Council wasn't aiming to help the farmers kasi hindi po mandato ng NFA yan. NFA yan. Mandato po yan ng Department of Agriculture. Christine, it's Mulanay, not Mulahay. Sabi ni Criselda, i-abolish na po bang NFA Council? Okay, ulitin ko. Abolition can only be done by law, but the President is doing is para na rin niyang in-abolish because he's going to be supplying, kumbaga, yung discretion na ina-exercise ng Council will no longer be exercised by the whole Council. He will be doing it himself, in fact. Sabi ni Celia, bakit po wala tayong export ng mangga dito sa Japan? Even bananas are scarce. Hindi ko po alam. Issue ng DA yan eh. Hindi ko pa napapag-aralan. Sabi ni Leslie, sobrang educate daw sila sa live. Wow. Sabi ni Ramil, Evasco press con was way out of line. You don't public attack an agency you yourself have great influence over. Doon palang huli na agad. Alam mo, tama ka. I'm glad you pointed that out. But I think that CABSEC was really just trying to defend his position. Sabi ni Lori, baka naman secretly gusto talaga ni Evasco na mag-rebel ang poor dahil sa lack of cheaper rice. Parang chess player, several steps ahead. Sabi ni Christine, kinilig naman ako doon natin. Thanks for the compliment. Sabi ni Deng, during Marcos' time, Cadillac Center is accessible not only to the point, hindi mo kailangan pumila after Marcos, lalo magmukhang kawawa ang mga mahihirap. Kasi need po nila na mag-abang kung saan makakabili ng NFA. Double hirap para sa kanila. Okay, I agree. Sabi ni, hindi ko maintindihan yung name. Kaya love ko kayo mga DDA vloggers, walang arte sa katawan kahit walang makeup. Nagla-live ko. Sorry. Wala talaga. Sorry na lang po. Sabi ni Bea, tatakbo po ba kayo pagkasenador next year? Walang pera at walang ambisyon. Sabi ni Elena, bakit nga po di taasan ang buying price ng NFA 19 to 20 pesos para makabili sa farmers? Ang problema po kasi, in order to, kung tataasan yung presyo ng NFA rice, baka maging inflationary po. Unang-una, the NFA cannot keep operating at such a big loss. So, magbebenta pa rin po. So, tataas din po yung pagbenta ng NFA rice. So, it kind of defeats the purpose. One. Number two, yun nga, even if we buy locally at 19 to 20 pesos, hindi pa rin po tayo self-sufficient. So, kulang pa rin ang bigas in the market. Sabi ni Ronald, very inefficient ang gobyerno kung involved sa business. Let the market work. The NFA is not involved in the business. It's involved in social welfare and food security. Sabi ni Felipe, I'm a farmer and an agriculturist. The DA must push through sa organic farming. Agree. To lower the cost of production, agree. Expenses and definitely increase net income for the farmers and saving our environment, producing safe and healthy rice. Agree ako kay Sir Felipe Gabriel. I can't say agree enough. Did I say agree? I agree. Sabi ni Greg Cuevas, now we understand ba pabigat lang palang NFA Council to get rid of it, is to abolish. Nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno pero pahirap sa gobyerno or maybe may hidden agenda itong mga to. Imbis na magtulungan para di mapahamak, abay, bakit ganito ang nangyayari? Yun na nga, malaking pahirap talaga po kasi the council knew na konti na lang ang bigas. Pero hindi pa rin sila nag-import. Yun po mismo ang pinaka naging issue sa ating Pangulo. Sabi ni Jenny Jane, alam niyo po ba na ang bagong ani na bigas yung today mo inani ay sobrang sarap, di mo na kailangan ng ulam. Alam ko po yan, binabayo lang namin, gumagawa na rin kami ng pinipig, sobrang sarap. Matagal na nga ako hindi nakaka-attend ng pipigan, yung gumagawa ng pinipig, tapos dati sa Bulacan may mga kanta pa sila, may magdadala ng gitara, tapos ginagawa yung pinipig dun mismo, dun sa bukid, namimiss ko yun. Ginagawa pa po ba yun? Kasi dati, the last time I attended that was sa Palawan. Ang sarap po ng pinipig. Gustong gusto ko po yun, yung bagong luto. Ano pa ba? Bakit di na lang sa government bank umutang ang farmers instead of sa traders? Kasi po ang banks marami pong requirements na kailangan. Sabi ni Nero James Toda, this is the real public servant. Mas maraming gawa kaysa putak. I really salute this administration. Keep it up po. Opo. Okay, kung wala na po tayong mga tanong tungkol sa bigas, we can take questions on other issues. Meron po ba kayong other issues? May mga nagtatanong, ano na po ang update dun sa recount kay BBM? Wala po akong balita other than what's in the newspaper. So, as usual, dun sa third na town, meron pa rin pong wet ballot box. Well, wet na ballots. So, we're not sure yet kung ano pong gagawin nila. So, yung pong hindi pa po nag-share, paki-share naman po. And dun po, hindi pa nagpo-follow sa Luminous by Trixie, Cruz-Angeles and Ahmed, Paglinawan, please do so. And then, mag-subscribe po kayo dun sa live so that you get notices para dun sa live. For those who are watching this on YouTube, may YouTube channel na rin po, Trixie Cruz-Angeles on YouTube. Para ano naman po, para hindi, para tangkilikin niyo naman yung YouTube channel ko. I think I only have about 1,000 subscribers, pero dito po, maraming salamat po dun sa mga followers, more than 100,000 na po tayo. Last two questions. Sabi ni Dexter, yung appointment sa SOJ na dating appointee ni Noynoy, ano po yung tanong? Sabi ni Andy, kumandidato po kayo sa pagkasenador at marami po kayong tagahanga kasi matalino po kayo at malaking na itutulong sa Pangulo tulad ni Mokat ni TP, kayong kailangan ng Pangulo sa Alam niyo sir, wala po kasi talaga akong ambisyon at saka mahal po yun so hindi po kakayanin yan. Sabi ni Tia, wala po bang hoarding na nangyayari? Does the government or can they search yung mga storages? Opo, gawain po yan ng NBI mag-investigate. Sabi ni Deng, Vasco knows how G2G works. He just doesn't want to do it. Maybe because he has his own agenda or maybe protecting some of the rice traders. Andy Gregorio said, pa-shoutout naman po from Houston. Shouting. Hi, Andy Gregorio from Houston. Sabi ni Adobong Panda Tolentino, Abad, regarding BBM protest, paano po pag biglang nag-resign si Lugaw, what will happen sa protest? Tutuloy po yan, yung protest, kasi naka-file na po yung kaso the president can declare the position as vacant and then choose from either the House or the Senate, with the concurrence of the House and the Senate, a new vice president, or he can possibly opt to wait for the result of the protest. Medyo, uncharted territory. It's never happened before na wala tayong VP habang may protest. But we've already had a VP that was appointed by the President. Gloria Arroyo appointed Teofisto Ginguana, who was a senator at the time. Last question. Sabi ni Gabriel Diwa, pinakansyawan ako ng asawa ko, tagal ko nang nanonood, di pa ako napapansin, from London. Hi Gabriel Diwa from London, sana wag na po kayong kansyawin ng misis nyo. Double hi ha. Sabi ni Marlita, kung hindi tatakbo si Senator si Mocha, di ikaw na lang endorse ni Mocha on her behalf. Sabi ni Volkswagen, I know walang ambition, pero si President nanalo pa din, di ba? Who knows? What we know is that you will be very good there. Tutulong na lang po ako. Sabi ni Reynante, okay, ito na yung last question. Ano kayo nangyari sa pag-abolish sa CPD law? Nasa House. I think wala pang third reading, so iniintay natin po yan. Wala pang counterpart bill akong nakikita sa Senado. So, dun sa mga nakinig, maraming salamat po. Dun sa mga matatalino at saka napakatalinong comments, at saka mga tanong, maraming salamat po kasi pinasisigla niyo po yung discussions natin. Dun sa hindi pa po nag-share, please don't forget to share. Maraming salamat po. Gabi na po. Yun sa mga nasa Pilipinas, matulog na po kayo. We'll do another live as the situation warrants. Pero right now, masaya po tayo because the President stepped in dito sa issue po ng bigas. At nagpapasalamat tayo dahil within 30 days po magkakaroon na po uli ng bigas doon sa ating mga warehouses sa NFA at hindi na po namimiligro tayo na in case of calamities baka wala po tayong bigas at saka magkakaroon uli ng alternatives ng murang bigas yung mahihirap natin. Maraming salamat po. Good night.